Good evening aspirants, welcome to Daily News Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 13th April 2024. Displayed here are the list of topics we are going to see today. Now let us get into the discussion. Look at this previous year question. About 3/4 of world's cobalt, a metal required for manufacture of batteries for electric motor vehicles, is produced by which of the following countries? We know that government considers cobalt as a critical mineral, and we can see the trend in UPSC that minerals are frequently asked. So let's learn about cobalt and then come back to this question. Firstly, cobalt is a chemical element with the symbol CO and atomic number 27. It is found naturally only in a chemical combined form. This naturally occurring cobalt has small amounts which is found in rocks, soil, water, plants and animals. As a pure element, cobalt is hard, lustrous and silvery grey metal. Cobalt is not found as a free metal and typically occurs in various ores. It is primarily obtained as a byproduct of nickel and copper mining and refining. Now talking about the distribution, the largest cobalt reserves are found in Democratic Republic of Congo, which is also the largest producer of cobalt in the world. The other significant producers are Russia, Australia and Canada. India also has significant cobalt resources, but the majority of them are located in the state of Odisha and smaller amounts are also in Jharkhand and Nagaland. However, there is currently no production of cobalt in India. I have listed some important locations in India regarding cobalt. Have a look at it. Now let us see some uses of cobalt. Cobalt is used to make various alloys and they are used in jet engines and gas turbines. This is because they have ability to withstand high temperature and oxidative stress. Cobalt is also an important part of lithium-ion batteries which power everything from mobile phones to electric cars. This is because cobalt improves the energy density and the battery life. Cobalt is also used in the production of permanent magnets which are found in hard disk, electric motors and generators. It is also used as a catalyst in petroleum and chemical process to aid in the refining process. Cobalt salts are used to produce a distinctive blue color in glass, ceramics, paints, etc. So these are the important uses of cobalt. Note that cobalt metal and cobalt containing compounds can be very toxic. So the exposure to cobalt dust can cause respiratory problems and dermatitis. Moreover, cobalt also has a biological role. It is a part of vitamin B12 which is required for the production of red blood cells and the functioning of nervous system. Humans typically consume small amounts of cobalt in their diet, but with the most metals, excess intake can lead to health problems. Now coming back to the question, about 3/4 of world's cobalt, a metal required for the manufacture of batteries for electric motor vehicles, is produced by Democratic Republic of Congo. So the correct answer is option C. With this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the next topic. Look at this previous year question. To answer this question, first you have to understand about Niger. Niger is a minor oilseed crop. It is primarily cultivated in rain-fed areas and it is a kharif crop in India. The kharif crops are grown from June to October and the seeds of Niger are utilized as food source for humans. It has an oil content of 37% to 47% and it also has a pleasant aroma. This oil finds application in culinary purposes, manufacturing paints and soaps, and for lightening and lubrication, etc. Additionally, the fragrance absorbing properties of Niger oil make it valuable to perfume industry. Moreover, it is believed that this oil can be used for contraception and also for the treatment of syphilis. This lesser known oil seed receives one of the highest MSP price. So the statement 1 and 2 are correct. In certain tribal communities in India, the Niger seed oil is commonly used for cooking purposes. Hence statement 3 is also correct. Also note that the Niger seeds are primarily grown in Ethiopia and other parts of Africa. They are also cultivated in Nepal and Myanmar. This plant is annual herbaceous plant that requires well-drained soil and warm climate for growth. So this is all about the discussion. Now let us move to the next topic. Look at this article. It says that 75% of funds allocated to MPs in Tamil Nadu under the MPLADS scheme from 2019 to 24 remains unspent. Additionally, there has been a shortfall in total funds allocated by central government to these MPs by 44.64%. Despite MPs being entitled to 5 crore annually under the scheme, the actual disbursement has been much lower, which results in large amount of unutilized funds. Also note that in February 2023, Centre has released revised guidelines and launched a new web portal for this MPLADS scheme. So with this background, let us learn a few basic things about MPLADS for our prelims exam. The Member of Parliament Local Area Development Scheme, which is shortly called as MPLADS scheme, is a central sector scheme. The MPs can use this fund to address development issues in their constituencies. The scheme was introduced in 1993. Under the scheme, each MP has a discretion to suggest district collector the works works which are worth of 5 crore per annum that can be taken up in their constituencies. Note that the funds under MPLADS are non-lapsable. That means they can be added up every year if it is unutilized. Now, who is responsible for the implementation of the scheme? Member of Parliament, Local Area Development Division is entrusted with the responsibility of the implementation of this scheme. Along with this, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation will regularly monitor the implementation of MPLADS scheme. It shall hold a meeting with all the state and union governments at least once in a year to review the implementation of MPLADS scheme. And note that the projects funded under this scheme are meant to emphasize durable asset creation. Hence, the funds are generally used for constructing schools, hospitals, roads, and other infrastructure projects. The scheme is intended to work alongside other central and state government schemes to fill development gaps in various communities across India. So, where can MP spend this? See, Lok Sabha MP have to recommend the district authority projects in their Lok Sabha constituencies. The Rajya Sabha MPs have to spend it in the state that has elected them to the house. So, Lok Sabha MPs will spend the amount in their Lok Sabha constituencies and Rajya Sabha MPs will spend this amount in their state. That is, the state from which they are elected. If you look at the nominated members of both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they can recommend works anywhere in the country. Under the revised fund flow procedure, members of Parliament will not be required to wait for the actual fund to be released by Ministry before recommending the new projects. So, this is all about the discussion. Now, let us move to the next topic. Now look at this article from Hindu newspaper. It says that recently Tea Association of India asked for payment of pending subsidies from the Tea Board. With this backdrop, let us understand some basic details about Tea and Coffee Board for our prelims exam. See, in 1954, the Tea Board replaced Central Tea Board and the Indian Tea Licensing Committee. So right now, Tea Board focuses on promotion of tea inside and outside the country. It also focuses on improvement of tea production quality through R&D, labor welfare schemes to the plantation workers, collecting and publishing data regarding tea, and finally assisting small tea growers. The vision of the board is to make India the leading producer and supplier of quality tea in global market. Now let us look at the organizational structure of the Tea Board. The present Tea Board has 31 members including chairman. The Tea Board reconstituted every 3 years and the members of the Tea Board can be a member of Parliament, tea producer, tea trader, tea broker or consumer. Now there are 6 standing committees in the Tea Board. They were Executive Committee, Export Promotion Committee, Labor Welfare Committee, Development Committee, Licensing Committee for North India and Licensing Committee for South India. So these are the committees under Tea Board. Now let us look at the Coffee Board. See, Coffee Board of India was established in 1942 under the Coffee Act 1942. It is a statutory organization which is responsible for promotion, development and regulation of coffee industry in India. Now let us see the functions of Coffee Board. This Coffee Board is tasked with promoting and developing coffee industry in India, and it provides technical assistance, training and services to coffee growers to enhance the productivity and quality of coffee produced in the country. Another key function of Coffee Board is to conduct research and development activities aimed at improving coffee cultivation practices and developing new varieties and addressing issues related to pest, disease and climate change. It also focuses on quality control, market promotion, export promotion and regulation. With this basic understanding of Coffee Board, let us look at some key data related to our exam. See, India is 6th largest coffee producer in the world. Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu are the major coffee producing states in our country. The coffee exports from India is around 338,000 metric tons in 2021, which earned $700 million for India. So this is all about the discussion. Now let us move to the next topic. Look at this editorial article. It talks about the recently released Annual Status of Education Report 2023. The data from the report revealed a concerning trend where a significant portion of 14 to 18-year-old age group lack basic reading skills. This implies that the previous year's educational shortcomings are not only the reason for this problem, the systematic failures over a long period of time are also the reason for this trend. So this is the crux of the article given here. In this context, let us learn some important points from the article using our mains answer writing approach. Look at the syllabus. This question can be asked under GS paper 2. Now look at the question. Despite achieving a universal enrollment in primary school education, India has not been able to ensure concurrent learning. Examine. The only keyword in the question is examine. You are expected to probe deep into the topic and cover all the aspects of it. So in the introduction part, you can give some facts about ASER and then you can split the main body of the answer into 2 parts. In the first part, we are going to write the reasons for low learning capacities and then we can write some solutions to overcome these challenges. So this is how we are going to approach this particular question. Now let us start with the introduction part. The ACR 2023 report revealed that almost 98.4% of students in the age bracket of 6 to 14 years are enrolled in schools. There was an increase of 7.3% in government school enrollment from 2018 to 2022. However, the report also says that 14 to 18-year-olds still struggle with the basic reading and division skills. So you can write these data in the introduction part. In the question, the concurrent learning is nothing but a method of education where students engage in multiple courses or subjects simultaneously. So by studying multiple subjects simultaneously, the students can see how concept, theories and skills from one subject can apply and enhance their understanding in another subject. So this interdisciplinary approach encourages critical thinking, problem solving and creativity as students learn to integrate knowledge from various disciplines. Now we shall move on to see the body part of the answer. The first and foremost reason for poor learning is a lack of detention policy. See, in India, every child up to age of 14 is guaranteed free and compulsory education, and no child can be held back, expelled or required to pass a board examination until grade 10. This has contributed to primary school enrollment rates of over 95%, but only few students actually master basic reading and mathematics. Secondly, unsatisfactory teaching standard, which includes a lack of teachers and incompetency of teacher, leads to lack of personalization. This is reflected in poor performance, and increased reliance on contractual teachers is also a concern. Thirdly, students who join primary school hardly complete their full course. Inadequacy and unsuitability of reading materials, unattractive school buildings and difficult curriculum are some of the reasons responsible for not attracting sufficient number of children to the schools. Additionally, there is lack of digitization, with more than 60% of schools in the country lack computers and 90% of them lack access to internet facilities. So there is a lack of awareness and education on the part of students and parents. They enrolled in schools, but attendance ratio is very low. Finally, the quality of education varies with a visible divide between well-funded formal schools and under-resourced and informal schools. There is an existence of social divides, including caste, class, rural, urban, religious and gender divides. All these are impacting the quality of education provided. You can write these points in the first part of the answer. Now moving on to see the second part of the body of the answer. Here we have to write some measures to address these challenges. Firstly, bringing the hybrid learning. See, children do a variety of different activities at home. Effective ways of hybrid learning need to be developed which combine traditional teaching with the newer ways of reaching learning. Secondly, the fluid situation should be monitored. When schools reopen, it will be important to continue monitor who goes back to the school, as well as to understand whether there is a learning loss as compared to previous years. Thirdly, assessing of digital modes and content. In order to improve digital content and delivery for the future, an in-depth assessment of digital infrastructure should be analyzed. Fourthly, parents' rising expectation of education can be integrated into planning for improvement in learning as advocated by National Education Policy 2020. Finally, we should bridge the digital divide. See, children from families who had low education and also did not have resources like smartphones had less access to learning opportunities. However, even among such households, there is evidence of effort with family members trying to help and schools trying to reach children. So this is about the body part of the answer. Now let us see the conclusion part. Despite access to education, the educational system often lacks the integration and flexibility needed to promote interdisciplinary understanding. So this gap underscores the importance of re-evaluating educational approaches, curriculum design, and teacher training methods to foster concurrent learning. So in this way, you can conclude the answer. With this, let us conclude this discussion and move to the next topic. Look at this article from Indian Express newspaper. Indian government has introduced a new digital platform called CDP SURAKSHA. This is to make it easier and faster for horticulture farmers to receive subsidies. So let's break down this article and understand this from our prelims exam perspective. Firstly, what is this platform? CDP SURAKSHA is a digital platform which is developed to give subsidies to horticulture farmers. SURAKSHA stands for System for Unified Resource Allocation, Knowledge and Secure Horticulture Assistance. It is a part of Cluster Development Program which is aimed at promoting horticulture. Now, what are the key features of this program? It uses e-rupee vouchers, a cashless contactless payment method which is issued via SMS or QR code. This platform is also linked with other government initiatives and databases like PM Kisan and utilizes resources like National Informatics Center for cloud services. Now, how does this program work? First, the farmers have to log in, order the planting materials like seeds or seedlings, and pay their share of cost. Then the subsidy amount is shown on the platform, which reduces the upfront cost for farmers. Upon payment by farmer, a e-rupee voucher is generated and sent to the vendor. After delivery, farmers verify receipt by uploaded geotagged photos and videos. Then the subsidy funds are released to the vendors after delivery confirmation. Now, what are the advantages of this system over the previous system? Firstly, this platform reduces the financial burden by providing subsidies at the time of purchase rather than after the purchase. So basically, it provides subsidies at the time of purchase itself. And the next one is the delivery verification through geotagged imagery adds layers of accountability and transparency. Know that the 12 out of 55 identified clusters are selected for initial implementation, and the target is around 10 lakh farmers across 9 lakh hectares for horticulture. Now, who are all the participants? Initial upload includes the farmers from specific clusters like Shayadri Farms, Meghalaya Basin Management Agency, and the major banks like HDFC, ICICI, SBI and Bank of Baroda are involved in generating e-rupee vouchers. So in conclusion, this platform signifies a move towards more technologically integrated and efficient agricultural subsidy management. So with this, let us conclude the discussion. Come to the prelims practice question discussion. Look at the first question. CDP SURAKSHA portal, which was in news recently, is related to which of the following? As we have seen in the discussion, it is related to horticulture. So the correct answer is option B. Now look at the second question. It is a previous year prelims question with reference to funds under MPLADS scheme. Which of the following statements are correct? Look at the first statement. MPLAD funds must be used to create durable assets like physical infrastructure for health, education, etc. This statement is correct. Now look at the second statement. A specified portion of each MP's fund benefit SC/ST population. The statement is also correct. 50% for areas with SC population and 7.5% for areas with ST population. So this has to be allocated under MPLAD fund. Now look at the third statement. MPLADS funds are sanctioned on yearly basis and the unused funds cannot be carried forward to the next year. This is incorrect statement because MPLAD funds are non-lapsable. Look at the fourth statement. The district authority must inspect at least 10% of all works under implementation every year. This statement is correct. The district authority would be responsible for overall coordination and supervision of works under this scheme, and the district authority will inspect at least 10% of works under implementation every year. So the correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 4 only. This is the mains question for you today. Interested aspirants can write the answer and post it in the comment section. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you.